hello, and thank you so much for joining me on my radio podcast. This is Deborah the Judge radio podcast, all the way from Putnam County, Florida. Yes, Putnam County, Florida, in the northern central section of Florida. So, thank you for stopping by on a Saturday. I know you guys got plenty of things to do, places to go, and uh, places to be. But thank you for stopping by. So I won't make this very long. I got three things that I want to talk about today. And if you're new to the podcast, please understand this is an opinionated podcast. It's my opinion, and your opinion comes from all the things that you've experienced, you've read, you've been involved with, know about, learning about, etc. So everybody has their own experiences that develops an opinion from what you think. So there's three things, like I said, I'm going to talk about today. And the first thing I want to talk about is flaming men. So if you look at the cover of this particular video, there is a red outfit with a black lace see-through type top. Okay, so there's a company called Bose, Bose. And for those who are into music and tech and etc., know about this particular music type of entity, let's say, especially if you like speakers and those kind of things. But what I want to point out is I'm flipping through looking at something that personally I may want to purchase from them as far as headphones. I see the picture of this black man flaming with this red outfit with his chest open looking like a female. So I put that in the post. But it just goes to show you that every time that they have some sort of flaming activities, they always want to contribute it to black men. Always. And maybe because that's something that people are just going to look at or gravitate to, so they just feed into it. And I'm pretty sure the guy is going to get paid. He's a very nice looking black guy, young guy. But you can't help but to notice that. Another example is today. So I love the performing arts. You guys know I love performing arts. Uh, I play the bass fiddle, the violin. When I was in high school, I was in the orchestra. I was in the all city orchestra, actually in Chicago. So I'm very in love with the arts, performing arts. When it comes to orchestra, opera, when it comes to the band and anything instrumental, I just love it. I just love it. Okay, and I love going to see our young artists performing. And I don't mean putting some beats together and electronic symphony type on a computer. I'm talking about actually being able to perform, the dancers. So I went to Florida School of Arts this afternoon about 2:30, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to go there or did I want to see the moon, what we call the lunar eclipse, which I really wanted to see. Okay, but that was 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Florida time, and the event that I wanted to go see was at 2:30, from 2:30 to like 4. So I had to make a decision, and I said, well, I'm going to go see the students in the performing arts, and I'll see the eclipse at another time because I've already seen the full eclipse when I was in Georgia, and that was an astounding thing to see how the sun is being blocked off, in a matter of minutes, and then all of a sudden the moon is passing it, and then now you can see the sun again. If you've never seen the eclipse, you guys really to see that up close and personal is really good. Don't forget to wear them glasses, okay? Or you will mess up your eyes trying to look at that. But anyway, so I'm at this particular performance that they have here in Florida in Putnam County, and it was just beautiful to see all these young people dancing and exhibiting all this different talent. But you know me, I couldn't help to notice they had one scene, and it's always one. It's always one because the LGBT community will be heard. I don't give a hell what you say, what you do. They're gonna be heard, okay? So there was these two guys, okay, two white guys, and they had a performance, and it was actually about 10 performances 10 different scenes, okay? But this particular performance was these two white guys. They were good now. You can't, I don't care what type of lifestyle you live. Talent is talent, okay? So you can't take away someone's talent if they have the talent. It just is what it is. And so they were just doing this beautiful scene. It was a slow scene, mood scene. They had their stretches and they're on their toes. I mean, it was just really great. And then one of the guys caressed the other guy's hand and leaned all back into it. I was like, oh no, here we go, this bullshit again. Oh Lord. Do I have to watch? Make my stomach ache when I see that shit. I'm like, Jesus, do I have to watch this? But I was watching. Okay. But they did a wonderful job. Okay. They did a great job. And then they had another young lady who was from Jamaica. This black chick was awesome. Come to find out that, and I posted it on my Facebook and I'll post it on my Instagram, and I may put it in the comment section who she is. But this girl, this black girl from Jamaica, was just awesome, just beautiful, flexible, poised, and just, she was just awesome. And come to find out that she graduated, she's an alumni of Florida School of Arts, and she does a lot of film and choreography for a lot of film projects, and she also teaches and composes choreography as well, like another Debbie Allen and shit. Okay, so she was just beautiful, pint-sized little black chick, very nice. I don't know how young she was, but she is got to be under her 30s. Okay, but she was just beautiful, and they were giving her flowers. And then there was one guy there, it was the gay guy, it was one black gay guy, right? He owned that shit. I hate to give him credit for shit, okay? But gay guys and shit, they know how to dance, right? He was just so flexible and he was just movable. Now I'm surprised he didn't have a special part, because he should have had a special dance song for him, because he was just really good. And it's really sad to me because I come from Atlanta, and you guys know that Atlanta is the number 2 gay capital of the world is Atlanta, okay? That's where I moved from. So I'm used to being around a lot of gay people all the time. And a lot of people in Atlanta, when it comes to gayness, a lot of those guys, especially black gay guys, they just extra. It's like you gotta always be extra. It's like the RuPaul extra. You know, it's like they gotta go take shit to the next level. Okay. Now, my first encounter of a gay person was a person by the name of Flame Monroe. Flame Monroe, okay? And my sister, when we lived in Chicago, she took me out one time to downtown Chicago, and there was a club called Batons. It's no longer there, but it's been there forever. And they had female impersonators. And so Flame Monroe was there one night, and she was performing. Like I said, these were female impersonators. These weren't men telling women that they're not women. These were people out there, men dressed as women, trying to make that money. And I'm pretty sure they had some gay relationships as well. But they weren't really pushing it like they pushing this shit now. It's crazy. And I'm not, if this makes any sense, it seems like the gays back then had more class or something. That was they understood that they were men, and they understood that men shouldn't be playing women's sports and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't feeding into all of that. But anyway, I'm saying that to say that. So back then I was probably like about 19. So we're looking over 55 something years ago, when my first encounter, when it was really seeing some gay person really perform. And they would do not Whitney Houston, they would do Barbara Streisand, Diana Ross, and who else? Diana Ross, Liza Minnelli. So them bitches is old right now, right? But they would do a lot of these performers and stuff, and they would have the big show, and they have all the feathers and the makeup and all that. And I was just bedazzled by it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that go see those Vegas shows, these are some of the things that they saw. But I think what really got me turned sideways when it dealt with LBGT community is that when I was in Atlanta, it's like they were trying to force you to believe that they were really women. So When that happened, it just turned me like 180, 360 degrees. That was not saying it turned me against them, basically, in that mind, because of that. That was what really made me kind of turn against the LBGT community, because I had friends that were part of the LBGT community. And when I was doing stand up comedy, these were some of my best supporters. In fact, a lot of the jokes and shit that I used to tell, okay, they approved my material. But if I was to say the same jokes that I did back then, like in 2007, 2008, 2009, when I first started doing stand up comedy, okay, if I started telling those jokes now, they would ban my ass. I mean, they would just ban you for telling jokes and shit. I mean, that's what the fuck they would do. If you want to hear any of my jokes, you can go on YouTube. Go on YouTube under Deborah, Deborah, comedian Deborah Delk, Delk. So you can check me out there if you want to just, look at some of my comedy. I did some stuff at the Punchline. I did a number of events. And one of the reasons that I went into comedy is because I was feeling depressed. I was taking care of my mom who lived in Chicago. I lived in Atlanta, but I would have to drive up to check on her maybe once or twice a month. She was elderly and whatnot. And it was just very stressful. So as I was driving up and down 75 north, 65 north, 65 south from Atlanta to Chicago, I would stop in sometimes some of these cities to spend the night. And one time I just decided to stop and spend the night, and it was down the street from a comedy club. So I stopped there in Nashville, Tennessee, and start, going to the shows, and it made me feel better. And of course, you know how I am and shit. I'm not narcissistic, but I'm like a lot of you people, think that, okay, I could do that. And I've always thought that I could do anything anybody else fucking can do. Nobody can tell you what you can and cannot do. Is, are you willing to put the damn work in? That's the question. So I'm like, I could do that shit. I'm funny as shit. Oh, in my own mind, okay, in my own mind, I could do that shit. It didn't seem to be that difficult to me. Just get up there and say a few little jokes and shit, you know. But how I learned that it wasn't just getting up there and saying a few little jokes and shit, that it was a whole lot more shit to it, a whole lot more stuff. But as I started doing stand-up comedy, I began to start making money. First, I would do comedy for like $25, $50, whatever. And then next thing I know, about a year and a half to 2 years later, I was getting as much as $1,500 or $2,000 a set to do stand-up comedy. Yeah, me, okay? But like I said, the reason behind it was because of depression. I was feeling so depressed. And I felt that comedy was something that could make you feel good. So if you're out there and you're feeling depressed about something, you got to find some kind of genre or something that makes you feel good. You got to. You can't just keep going and going and going and feeling depressed. You got to, because if you don't, what happens? You will end up like the guy in Maine did. They killed all them damn people. You saw all the people he killed? Who in the fuck does that? Well, you just motherfucking kill the motherfuckers. At first, I thought it was like a HAMAS type um, incident where you had some HAMAS person over here, okay, where they done shot up and killed a lot of folks, Jewish people and shit. But that wasn't it. This was a white Caucasian guy, white as white, fleet as white as snow, killing other 22 white people, 3 females, 1 child with 14, and the rest are white men. And he was a white man. But I'm not going to go in and talk about that. But I'm just saying that this guy really did have some mental health issues. And the people who was in his military surroundings knew that, because they sent him to the hospital. But the point is that how far is somebody else responsible for continually trying to give somebody some help? At what point? How long are you going to hold somebody responsible for their behavior if the hospitals don't keep him, or the hospitals say, okay, he's okay now? And he might be, Because working as a mental health nurse, for those who don't know, I've been in mental health for 20 something years. I'm a registered nurse by trade and worked in the hospitals mostly, like I said, mental health and OBGYN was my specialty. Community health, I did it all, delivered babies and shit. I delivered more babies probably than some of the damn doctors did because their ass was not there on time, late as fuck. So I had to catch the baby. But anyway, so at the end of the day, when you have these mental health issues and the doctors release them and say they're okay, and they probably are okay at that specific time and that specific moment, and they usually will give them medication to take when they leave. The problem is they're not going to take these medications when they leave. Because what happens with a lot of this medicine is when you take psychiatric medicine, the normal you, even if you are non-functioning, even if you are fucked up in the head, even if you are half crazy, when you take these medication, it changes your perspective, it changes your ideology, it changes somewhat who you are. And a lot of people don't like that feeling of feeling different than who they are, even if they're non-functioning or fucked up functioning. They don't like to feel differently. And it's not like you take a pill and you feel like, oh, I'm high as hell, I'm feeling good. Okay. That ain't always the type of feeling that you get. It's a different type of feeling that you might get. And so that's why a lot of people who are on these medicines, as soon as they get out of the hospital, they stop taking them. Whether they're schizophrenic, whether they're bipolar, manic depressive, whatever, they stop taking it because they want to get back to that normal person who they are, even if it is a depressed, non-functioning person. It just is what it is. And that's been my experience of, being a mental health nurse and working in head of one of the number one mental health institutions in Georgia for a number of years, working as a manager in different aspects. But anyway, so yeah, he killed all them people. They finally found him, and they found him dead because he killed himself. Now he killed all those people, but I guarantee you that he wanted to kill some more people. And the reason why I said that is that when they found him, he was right in the same vicinity or within so many feet of a place where he worked at. So I'm willing to bet that he was probably waiting for these people to come to work on Monday or whatever it was, and he was going to get him some more people. And then he probably was going to turn the gun on himself. That's probably why he was at that particular place. And when you are a psychiatric person, a lot of times what's on your mind, from my experience, is dealing with psychiatric patients, is that there's a lot of suspicion and there's a lot of fear, because a lot of times people are hearing voices and shit. And this is for real. A lot of people think, oh, he wasn't crazy. Yeah, a lot of times people be hearing voices, hallucinations and shit. People talking to them and shit. If you get some bad drugs, you're going to have that type of experience as well. But anyway, I don't want to harp on that for a long time. But what I want to say is that you got to find yourself something to do that you really like to do that will bring you out of this depression of either, a lot of times people are in depression because they're alone. They don't have anybody special that they can depend on or hang out with or have fun with. They might be depressed because they don't have any money. And a lot of times it takes a little bit of money to do something with. You can't go see a movie unless you got some damn money. And Killers of the Flower Moon was a good movie, okay? But you can't go see a movie unless you got some money, because you need at least $30, $40 just to see a damn movie. Especially if you want some popcorn and a drink. You could buy a big bag of popcorn and a drink and to get in, and that's $50 right there. And it's only going to get much, much higher as this war continues to go on. So you can't afford it. So now you're feeling kind of depressed. Or you're around people that are going to different events. We going to the beach, or we going kayaking, we going to the park. It takes gas to get to where you're going. And then when you go, you're going to have a little money where you want a little snacks and shit. To buy there, a hot dog and shit will cost you $5 damn. Since when does a damn hot dog cost $5? But I tell young people this: look, it's a lot of stuff that you guys gonna deal with before it's all over, and it's gonna get worse before it gets better. The idea is that you cannot disfocus yourself on shit that's happening on shit you can't control. And I know a lot of kids are out here, protesting the war, and I get you. I understand. Because the reality of it is, if they initiate the draft again, because they've initiated the draft in America at least 4 times since the 1900s. Okay, and in Vietnam was the last time I think they initiated the draft because it was a real war. Just like this war over here, this is a war. Y'all don't see it like that, but it's a damn war because the Middle Eastern countries, all the Lebanon and Syria and all the Middle Eastern countries, they support Palestine. They hate Israel. They support Palestine. So they're shooting missiles and shit over to Israel. And not only are they shooting Israel over to Israel, America has different bases in different countries. Like, for instance, in Iran, I think it's Iran. I keep mistaking Iran and Iraq. Okay. But one of those countries, United States, I believe it's Iraq, that United States is close with. But anyway, United States have military bases that are planted over in some of those Middle Eastern countries that are supportive of America. So the Middle Eastern countries are targeting those American bases. And if they target American bases, which they've already done, they've already sent rockets and shit over there to the American bases, that means we are at war. It means the United States is at war. Because with that, attacking the bases, you're attacking the military, the United States military. So now it's a war. And it's not just a war with Pakistan on the Gaza Strip and Israel. Now it's a war with the United States and whatever countries, Middle Eastern countries, are attacking American military bases that are close in proximity to where they are. So we're in it to win it. Don't get mad. We're in it to win it. Now, whether we win it, that remains to be chosen. But at the end of the day, I'm rooting for America because I live in America. My kids are in America. I'm not rooting for the other guy because the other guy is rooting for himself. And so I'm rooting for America, whether it be by default or whether it be by just the fact that I'm here. And yeah, America is fucked up in a lot of damn shit. It really is. We've had a history of fucked up shit in America. But at the end of the day, I live in America. So that is where my support is going. Whether right or wrong, I have to support America. Behind closed doors, I will tell Biden, you fucked up, you fucked up. But in the open, I'm going to say, Lord, have mercy. Let's just do what needs to be done. Hurry up, get in there, do what the hell y'all got to do, and get out. But as I told y'all before, I said, Israel is not stopping. They ain't got no other choice but to continue to finish the damn job. You probably say, why? They need to just stop. No, in the hell they don't. As I told you before, if somebody come in your house and kill your kids, now you sent something over there and you killed one of their kids, and they still shooting at you too and telling you, I'm going to kill all your kids. So you have no other choice to say, okay, since you're going to kill all my kids, it's on. I'm going to kill the rest of your kids, your mama, your daddy, your dog, and anybody else. And that's why this shit is not going to stop. Whether people can protest all they want to. And as I said before, I know a lot of you young guys are protesting. But you should be protesting for the fact that you need to get this shit over with. I ain't got no light in here. Let me turn the damn light off. Because if they initiate the damn draft, that means a lot of you motherfuckers is going to go to war. You'll be in selective service and they will call your ass up to go to war. And ain't shit you could do about it except for 2 things. Not go or be put in the military prison. And you don't want to be put in the military damn prison. I'm telling you. Okay, for those who don't know, I'm a Desert Storm veteran. Yes, I am. I am prior military. I know some of y'all probably saying, what the fuck have she not done? I done a lot of shit, okay? Cause I want to see some shit. I want to try some shit out. I ain't afraid to do shit. I'm gonna try some shit out. How do you know it if you don't fucking try it? Okay, you gotta get out there. You can't. Everything can't be safe. You gotta get some fucking bruises and shit on your ass. But it just elevates you to the next level. And now you're not fearful of that because you've already done that. Okay. So as I say, there's two things that you young people should be worried about, and that's selective service. Now, you go to military jail or you join and then you get overseas and you defect. Like a lot of people did. They don't talk about that. But when they had the Vietnam War and shit, a lot of people did not believe in it. So they joined. But when they got over there, a lot of these people defected and stayed in Vietnam. They stayed there and they lived there and they went to these Asian countries and they not manipulated, but they filtered in and they stayed over there. They said, the fuck this shit, I ain't doing that. So that's why a lot of countries, Asian countries was angry. Vietnam was angry because there are a lot of black babies over there. There are a lot of white babies who are American babies, where they had these fuck these Asian women and left the damn babies over there and not taking care of them. I mean, we talking about hundreds of thousands. I'm just exaggerating, but just a thousand. Well, you never know, okay? But it was so many of them. And so the government of Vietnam and those other countries that these military defected to, okay, these countries had to pay for these kids. Poor little babies, they ain't got nothing to eat, you know. Okay, so that's it. So if there's another war that happens in Israel with these Middle Eastern countries, Syria and etc., okay, a lot of these people are going to defect. They are going to defect. Hey, Kelly. Okay, Kelly said that her son can't go and be drafted because he has 50% of his hearing. And I'm too old. Well, females are not going to be enlisted anyway, Kelly. And of course, if you have when I say a selective service, that's if you don't have a mental and or physical, some sort of ailment or body element. If you got any of your fingers, if you lose any of your fingers, especially your trigger finger, right, or your thumb, you don't have to go. So there's certain things you don't have to go. But if you're between 18 and 64, you have to register for the selective service. Even if you're transgender, you don't get out of it. Ha, 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 ha. You got to go. If you're biological male, you don't get out of it. You can wear a dress all you want to. You're going to have a good time in those holes, those rabbit holes. I know some of y'all mad because I said that. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Okay. But anyway, yeah, transgenders, your asses will go. If you are a male talking about you a female. If you're between the 18 and 64. Now, the ages they look at to go first are 19, 20, 21. Those are the first ones that they pick to pull. Ask me, I don't know. So if you got kids that are 17 and 18 or trying to graduate and go to college, they can go to college all they want to. You're not exempt because you go to college. Unless you're going into the ministry. Unless you are going into the ministry or minister, you can get out of going to war if you have if you're a minister and you got proof that you're a minister and all that shit behind you. Okay, so yeah. So even my son can go. He's 50 and shit. But I got a grandson who is like 16, okay? And so who knows, this war is going to be going on for a minute. So I'm just praying, you know. It used to be not your only son. Like if you had only one son, they don't give a shit about that. If you got one son or a husband that's taking care, unless he is the person who's actually taking care of the children, and there's no mother, then he can be exempt. So listen to this, right? So if you are in control of your children and there's no mother there, you don't have to go to service. Okay? But at the end of the day, yeah, selective service, and they ain't gonna really tell you what they do is they slick this information in. Because when they had to go to war for Vietnam, it's like we didn't even know. All we know, next thing we know, they was just people was being drafted overseas. We was like, what the fuck? Everybody on the Pookie them from the block, everybody was going. How the hell Pookie them go? They require all of this shit, right? But when it's time to be drafted, oh now, oh okay, you don't need a high school education for that to go now, okay? Oh, you can have an assault charge, or you can have a battery charge. Oh, you can go now. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the country uses you how they want to use you when it's convenient to use you at the end of the day. Crackhead going wild again. Yeah, even the crackheads, they get their ass, they ass going to select the service too. They'll get the crackheads too at the end of the day. And if you are a female and you think you're a dude, you still don't have to go. So females ain't got to go. Whether they're acting like a man or a stud, you don't have to go. But I don't think any of you women who turn men are gonna sign up for that. Okay, so let me just go on to the next thing before I get out of here. So as I told you before with this mental health thing, do some things in your life that's gonna make you feel good. Now, one of the things you guys know, I'm here in Florida from Georgia, and I've been doing rehab on this dusty ass trailer, which is almost coming to an end. I've done a lot of work on it. And so today or tonight, as it goes, you see this little table that I got right here. I made me a little island. So this is a little kitchen island and shit that I made, right? From scratch. It's my chicken island. Okay. But I'm getting ready to do some other stuff with it. I'm going to change it where it's going to be one long island in the middle instead of it an L shape. It's an L shape right now. So you guys know I like to do a lot of rehab and gardening and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, and for you haters and shit, just to let y'all know, this is what I pulled out the garden today. So I pulled out peppers, bell peppers, and these particular small green peppers. Now potatoes I didn't pull, I bought those. But this is a view of the back. It's a beautiful view. And day before yesterday, I saw my first alligator. I was like, damn, my nosy neighbor called me. She always calls me because she's nosy as hell. But it's good to have a nosy neighbor sometimes. So anyway, I'm getting ready to get out of here. And I already talked about those three things. And when I say black people don't have a dog in the fight, what I mean is this. When it comes to Hamas in the Gaza Strip and the Palestinians who are right there on that little strip, Palestine, because that's what the country is Palestine, right next to Israel. And it's so funny the way that area is divided up, because you have Palestine right here by the water. Then you got Israel here next to them. And then you got West Bank, which is Palestinian. So Israel is sort of like in the middle of what we call these two hostile areas that they're in the middle of. That's why they got that electric dome around the whole center of the Israel area to try to protect them. But yes, America is at war. I just want y'all to know that a lot of those missiles hit the military air bases. And I'm pretty sure people have died. I'm pretty sure Americans have died. And you're not hearing about it. You're not hearing about it. I don't know why they're keeping quiet. Unless they're putting shit into place right now. Because we got all our ships are over there right now. American ships, the biggest ships are over there right now in the Middle Eastern area. So just pray for America. And as I said, blacks, we don't have a dog in this fight. And that's how I see it. Because the Palestinians and the Israelis or the so-called Jews or Ashkenazi Jews or whoever you want to call them that's there, they're not in support of black people. Okay? They're not supporting black people. We've had a lot of black issues, a lot of black causes here in America. They haven't really supported us. A good example is for instance George Floyd. Now, whether I agree with George Floyd, what happened to him or not is one thing, but when you see all of those people protesting, you didn't see any Palestinian flags out there supporting them. You didn't see any Israeli flags supporting the black movement. Now, I saw an Israeli flag supporting Dr. Martin Luther King when he went and marched on Washington. I remember that. But as far as any other black issue or black movement, I don't see Israelis, Jewish people out there supporting us. I just don't. I don't see the Palestinians out there supporting us. I don't. And when it comes to America, I know a lot of Caucasians be saying, well, my parents and shit, they didn't have slaves. No, they didn't. But your people benefited from it. Your people benefited from it, whether it was land or handing down land from one Caucasian who had slaves to another, et cetera, et cetera. So you begin to be in control of this government. When you look at the government, up until now, the government is controlled by what? White people. Controlled a lot by Jewish too. It's a whole lot more stuff going on than we will ever know. But at the end of the day, black people can see that money is going to Ukraine, billions of dollars. Billions of dollars are going now to Israel and Palestine. The government, American government, has sent so much money to all these countries overseas, and the illegal aliens. I don't call them immigrants; they illegal aliens. They're here, and they sitting in the best hotels. And you got people that fought for this country and shit is sleeping on the street. So as a black person, I have no other choice to say I don't have a dog in this fight. When you pay reparations, I might have a dog in this fight, but I don't have a dog in this fight. And when you have somebody like Barack Obama, who was a AKA black president, that's a whole nother story because his mama, was related to the Cheneys and shit. And his father was from Africa, so he was not a descendant of slaves here in America. He can't connect to something that he's not. He just got the same skin color. And if you watch carefully, especially as a black person, you will see when he was walking and shit like he was so cool, he practiced that walk. He practiced the shit out of that walk to try to walk like he was suave. He practiced that. He looked at black men to see how they walk like the pimps and shit, like Bishop Don Juan and some of the pimps and shit, how they was cool and shit, how they walk. Barack Obama practiced that. That wasn't a natural instinct for him. And when he first got to Chicago, he wasn't walking like that. But he was running and he wanted to identify to make sure that when he ran for president, he would get the black vote. Him and Michelle or Michael, whatever you want to call. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying. Okay, I know some of y'all mad right now. I didn't call the Barack Obama's wife Michael. Barack Obama did. So if you're going a couple of times, not just one, he called her Michael a couple of times. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So no, as a black person, I don't have a dog in this fight. Y'all start paying reparations, then I might be more concerned. But until then, y'all do what y'all need to do. Do what you need to do. And in the meantime, we're going to do what we need to do here in America. That's keep living, keep surviving, and praying. And doing what we need to do. Because we really know if you're biblical and you understand really the heritage of black people, you understand Hebrew, you understand the Jews versus the Jewish, the Ashkenazi Jews. You understand what your position are and who you really are in this big scheme of things. You'd understand that. So I'm getting ready to get out of here. And the last thing I'm going to say is the big lie. When people tell you to love, you're supposed to love everybody. That is a damn lie. You're not supposed to love everybody. Biblically speaking, you're supposed to love your brethren. Your brethren. And your brethren is the same people that have what we would call your bloodline. Your culture and your bloodline is your brethren. So when you look at everybody, so I'm supposed to love this person right here. I'm supposed to love. No, because remember, there were fallen angels, Satan brothers, Satan brothers and sisters that fell. Remember the fallen angels, and they came down here and they had sex with what we call women, human women, and they had children. So these are children of Satan, and they have a bloodline here too as well, and they continue to thrive just like the descendants of Noah bloodline flourishes. So that thought process of loving everybody, no, you don't love everybody. You love your brethren, and you have to understand who that is through biblical teachings. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I'm getting ready to get out of here. And last but not least, I went to the Florida School of Arts this afternoon, and I got a chance to see a really, really great performance. It was wonderful. There was a black chick out of Jamaica. This girl was awesome. She was a composer, a teacher, and she does a lot of film work. And she was just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to post some information about her as well. You guys can follow her on Facebook or wherever y'all follow people at. I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get out of here. It's a little hot. Oh, Lord have mercy. And thank you for sending love to me on my Instagram at the Billy Ocean concert. I had a great time. Billy Ocean was awesome. I think about 80 years old. Had a long, what I would call the twist. Long, not the dread. They don't call them dreads. They call them locks. White, all white locks he had coming down to his back. But he was performing. He looked really good. He looked really nice. Peace. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Kelly said, everybody ain't lovable. Oh, that's true. That's true. But like I said, everybody is not supposed to be what I would say your brethren. And we've been taught that, so we think that we're supposed to just love everybody. But that's true. That's not true. The children of Satan, we're not supposed to be loving these. We're supposed to be casting that shit out. We're supposed to be calling shit out. But you guys, y'all take care. Don't forget to go on YouTube and watch Kelly Ray. I love this chick. She white, but I love her. It's only a few white people that I really can say I love. She's one. And then my sister's husband, John, he was lovable. I loved him too. They were just really good people. It's a few more. It's more than just a few. I do kind of like some white people or whatever. Brad Pitt. I'm just kidding. Sean Connery. I'm just saying. But anyway, let me get out of here. You guys have a blessed day. Don't forget to YouTube Kelly Ray and Maurice Delk on the YouTube station. Bye-bye. Have a great day.